Okay, so this is going to be a very, very long script and kind of repetitive, but let's just do our best to get through it, shall we? So what we're going to do is we're going to do a couple of things here. First of all, we have these two backdrops, so we want to make sure that we start on the first backdrop. My first backdrop is the school, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Looks, and down here it says Switch Backdrop to Blue Sky 2 is what mine says. Yours might say something different depending on your backdrop. I'm just going to bring this out. And I'm going to say switch the backdrop to school because that's what I want it to be. Okay. Now, in variables, we want to set the variable next to 0. So I'm going to bring out this first set button. Mine says set adjective 1 to 0. I'm going to click on the triangle here, and I'm going to go down to next, and I'm going to say set next to 0. And you'll see why we're going to do this later on. Okay. And now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to have the cat sort of introduce what's going on. So I'm just going to go to Looks, and it says say hello for 2 seconds. I'm going to bring that out. And I'm just going to click on the word hello, and I'm going to type in, are you ready for a Mad Lib? Question mark. You can certainly phrase that a little bit differently if you want, but just something basic like that is all you really need to say. Now, here's where it's going to get a little bit boring and just repetitive. We need to go ahead and ask for all of those variables, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Sensing, and sort of the fifth one down, it says ask what's your name and weight. I'm going to bring that out. So this is going to let me ask a question, and it's going to give me a place where the person who's doing this can come up with an answer. And so what I'm going to ask is type in a number. Okay, so the very first thing we need to ask for is the number. And now what we need to do is we need to make sure that we remember what the person says, what they type in. So we need to go ahead and set this variable number to that answer. So I'm going to click on variables, and I'm going to bring out, mine says set adjective 1. I am going to bring that out. But I'm not worried about adjective 1. I want to click on the triangle, and I want to find number in my list. So I need to scroll down, and there it is right there, number. Now I don't want number to be 0, I want number to be the answer to this question. So I need to go to the light blue Sensing, and down right below ask your name is this circular answer button. I'm just going to drag this out, and notice that when I get near that 0 it lights up. So don't just put it here, right? Make sure that 0 lights up, and so I have set number to answer. Okay, so I'm going to have to do this for each one of my variables in the correct order so that they get asked in the right time. So the next thing that we want to do is we want to ask about a plural noun. So I could go and just, grab all these things, or I can do the right click and duplicate. So if I come over to the and wait and I right click on my mouse, I can select duplicate from there, and I get those two things, and I can move them down and just connect them like that. Now the second thing that we want to ask for is a plural noun. So I'm going to click on the word number here, okay, and I'm going to type in plural noun. You can retype the whole thing in again if you want, all right? But as long as it says type in plural noun, that's what we're looking for here. And we're going to change this variable number, we're going to change it to noun 1, okay? So noun 1 is what we're looking to do there. Now we need to do this exact same step again. So I'm going to right click on the and wait here, and I'm going to left click on duplicate. I'm going to bring that down and connect it there. Now we do need a second plural noun, so I don't need to change this, but I do need to change set noun 1 to noun 2. So I'm going to click on the triangle and go to noun 2 and select that one. The next thing that we need is a verb ending in ing. So what I'm going to do again, I'm going to, where it says and wait, I'm going to right click on that with my mouse. I'm going to left click on duplicate. I'm going to bring this down and connect it at the bottom. All right. And I'm going to click in here, and I'm just going to highlight. I'm just going to click and hold and drag so that plural noun is highlighted. And I'm going to type in a verb ending in ing. All right. And a lot of times you'll see that dash thrown in there. That's just a way of saying that this is using the ing ending. Now this is not a noun, right? So what we need to do here is we need to choose verb 1. So I'm going to click on the triangle. And we're going to scroll all the way down until we see verb 1. And so that's going to be right there. Now, Again, I need to do this another time, so I'm going to right click on this and wait, and I'm going to duplicate it, bring it down to the bottom. Now this is just a regular verb, so I can go ahead and click in here and then click and drag on this ending in ing and delete it, or I can just type in a verb. Either way is fine. But we are going to switch this now to verb 2. So I'm going to click on the triangle, I'm going to go to verb 2, now we got verb 2. The next thing that we need is another noun, another plural noun. All right, so I'm going to right click on this and wait, I'm going to duplicate. Now you might say, why not just copy in this one here? Because if I duplicate this, I get all of those. So I don't necessarily need all of those right now. That might be a little bit confusing. So I'm going to not do that. So I'm just going to, whoops, just get rid of these so that they're not in my way. So I'm just going to right click on this and wait right here and duplicate it. So I just have these two. So we just did type in a verb. We're going to do type in a plural noun again. So I'm going to click once, I'm going to click twice, I'm going to double click on verb now. I'm going to say type in a plural noun, just like that. Okay. We now need to change this plural noun. This is now noun number 3, right? We did noun 1 here, noun 2 there. So now this needs to be noun 3. So I'm going to just click on this little bar and slide it up until I see noun 3 and select that. So type in a plural noun, noun 3. The next thing that we want to do is we want to do another plural noun. So that's going to be easy. I just have to right click on this and wait and duplicate, drag this down and connect it to the set like that. I can leave type in a plural noun, that's fine, but this is now noun number 4. So I'm going to click on this and I'm going to choose noun 4. Okay. The next thing that we need is we need another verb. So I'm going to right click on this and wait and I'm going to duplicate it. I'm going to connect it. I'm going to click once on the words, twice to take the box off, and then left click and drag. Change this plural noun to type in a verb. And we are going to switch this to verb number 3, right? We have verb 2 here. So this is our verb number 3. So I need to scroll down until I see verb 3, just like that. Okay, so now we've got our verb 3. So we're getting closer and closer to the end. We need to do another adjective now, or actually our first adjective, I should say. So I'm going to right click on and wait, left click on duplicate, connect this to the bottom. Click once inside here, click twice, and then click and drag over verb. And I'm going to change this to adjective. Okay. A-D-G-E-C-T-I-V-E. So type in an adjective. This is the first time we've used adjective, so I'm going to click on this verb 3. I'm going to drag this all the way up to the top and choose adjective number 1. Okay. Now what we need is we need to do our vehicle. So I'm going to, and you can see I'm getting kind of near the bottom, so if I want to give myself some more room, there's this slider bar over here, right sort of on the side of the work area. I can slide this down a little bit to give myself some more space. I can also hit this minus button and zoom out, but that makes it a little bit difficult to see, so I'm going to zoom back in so I can see it a little bit better. And I'm just going to scroll down a little bit, and I might zoom in a little bit more. All right, and I can scroll left and right here as well if I wanted to. Okay. So now I've just done adjective, and so like I said, now what we need to do is we need to do our vehicle. So I'm going to right click on this and wait and duplicate and connect it to the bottom. I'm going to click once on the words, twice to take off the selection, and then I'm going to left click and drag, change my adjective to vehicle, V-E-H-I-C-L-E. All right, so a vehicle is something you can drive around in, you know, car, plane, something like that. And so we're going to switch our adjective 1 here, and we got to go all the way down to vehicle, which is right there. Okay. Few more to go. We're almost there. I'm going to raise those up just a little bit so I have some more space. So now that we've done our vehicle, we now need to do an adjective. So I'm going to right click on and wait, duplicate that, connect it down the bottom, click once, click twice, click and drag, type in an adjective. Okay, probably should make that one an as well. An adjective. Switch this. Now we've done adjective 1, so we're now on adjective 2. So I've got to click on the triangle, scroll up to adjective 2. So now that we've got our adjective 2, we are going to do another noun. So we're going to right click and we are going to duplicate. And we're going to bring this back down. We're going to switch this. So click once, click twice. I'm going to click and drag, type in a noun, just like that. And this is now our, I guess our 5th noun, right? We got our 4th noun there. So we're going to go to noun 5, put that in. And we've got to do a plural noun. So I'm going to right click on and wait, duplicate, bring this down to the bottom. And we're going to type into, so I'm going to click once, click twice, and type in plural, just like that. So type in a plural noun. And this will obviously be noun number 6. So I'm just going to scroll down here a little bit until I get to noun 6. We need to do this exact same step. Type in another plural noun. So I'm going to right click on the end, wait, duplicate, connect this to the bottom. I don't need to change this, but I do need to change noun 6 to noun 7, and that is our final noun for this. I'm going to raise this up a little bit just by clicking on this little bar and dragging it down. So now that we've got our plural noun, it's time for our last adjective. So I'm going to right click on wait, duplicate, bring it down to the bottom. I'm going to click in here and click again, and then I'm just going to drag. And then I'm going to type in an adjective, just like that, okay? And we need to change noun 7 now to adjective 3. And that gets us through all of those variables. Just 2 more things that I want to do real quick, and then we're going to wrap this particular video up. We want to go to variables, and we want to bring out this set one more time. But what we're going to do this time is we're going to set next to 1. And in the next video, you'll see what we're going to be doing with next. The last thing that I want to do is I want to go to looks, and I want to bring out the say hello. Actually, I don't want to do for 2 seconds. I want to just do a regular say hello like this, because I want this to be on for as long as the player needs it. And in where it says hello, I'm going to say now press the space bar to tell the story. Okay? So what's going to happen in the next video is we're going to start writing programs, or scripts I should say, so that when we press the space bar, it will go to the first part of the story and then the second part. And this is what's going to control which part of the story comes up. Okay? So in the next video, we will start doing that. Just make sure you have now press the space bar to tell the story, and then you should be in good shape. So we're going to go ahead and end this video here, and we'll see you for the next one.